Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we have a look at quite a few reveals over the weekend from New York Comic Con. So first up, we have a look at the Hasbro Transformers team reveals, and that is of 4 new figures that were revealed. A Studio Series, and they were all Studio Series, by the way. Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron, and this is a reuse of the Legacy and Kingdom mold, but done up in the 86 animation color accurate with opaque cannon and everything like that. So I know some people were bummed by this. I think it looks really nice, and the mold isn't too bad. And then we have a look at a Voyager Gamer Edition Decepticon Skywarp, using that Starscream mold, which looks really cool. He's got a new cannon weapon, a missile launching weapon. So they're filling out the arsenal for your Gamer Edition. And then we have a look at a long-awaited, about 2 years, 3 years we've been waiting for this figure. That is of the Transformers Studio Series Dark of the Moon Hatchet, Decepticon Hatchet. So he's finishing that trio of Decepticon characters. I can't remember their names, but we finally have this one coming out. And then lastly, the Transformers Rise of the Beast Double Punch, which is the red Scorpodox, the Scorpion character. So now we've got Scorpodox, and now we've got Double Punch, and I think we're still waiting for Sandstorm to have the trio of them. Hasbro's Transformers team, they really like to finish group characters as soon as possible, so we'll probably see this mold a third time to finish the trio, which is perfect to have your Maximals and Autobots just wrecking them like they did at the end of the movie. So that is all the Transformers reveals, and then they let us know that Devastator was still not going to be revealed yet, that he'll be revealed at 10/26, which is coming up soon. And on the G.I. Joe side of things, during the panel, they showed us quite a few digital renders, and they showed us some name drops and some actual product that'll be going up for pre-order this week. Let's go with the pre-orders this week. The pre-orders this week was 3 figures from the Retro line. First up was G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Dr. Mindbender with his more classic look, with the Cobra logo this time on the back of his coat. And then we had a look at a G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Rock and Roll, which was really cool. I'm excited they kept the Rock and Roll hand in as an alternate swapping hand, and he looks more accurate with less tattoos on the arms. Actually, I don't think there's any tattoos on the arms this time around. And then the green, fully green suit, which looks really cool, and the proper gun. And then lastly, when it comes to things that were going up for pre-order, was the G.I. Joe Classified Series Viper. And this time around, the Viper looks more classic, like the Retro line does, and he's got his arms showing this time instead of having full sleeves, which is really cool. So those 3 went up for pre-order, and then we had some digital render reveals of some really cool stuff. So first up, the thing I'm really excited about is the 60th anniversary G.I. Joe line. They did a firefighter, so they're doing first responders, it looks like now. That's what my fingers are crossed for. So we got a firefighter. They said there was going to be another one in the future. I'm assuming it'll probably either be a police officer. I'm hoping they'll do more like an EMT, maybe even a doctor, as weird as that sounds. An astronaut would be really cool. So really excited about this one, because you could put him in your Marvel Legends displays as a firefighter, or you could put him in your G.I. Joe displays, or pretty much anywhere you want to have a firefighter. So that's really cool. And then they are doing a outpost, Cobra outpost tower and accessories with a Trench Viper troop builder. So the more you buy, the more you can build. I thought this was really cool. Definitely something I can't wait to see people working with and see how big they can make things and how cool they'll have their displays. And the idea that it comes with the troop characters, so it's something you could buy multiples of, and it isn't like you're wasting that figure on someone who's a unique character. And then we had a look at 2 name reveals. I'm feeling bad. I know one is Destro's brother, and then the other one is another unique, weird character. I think it's either Disco Ball or Crystal Ball. I feel bad. I'm horrible with some of the Joe Cobra villain names and stuff like that. Well, these 2 were name drops with the old pictures, the old art, so we don't have a digital render yet of them. And then we got a digital render of the first of, I guess, 2 or 3 of the mass device episode figures. So we got Snake Eyes here with a polar bear, and like I said before, I love when G.I. Joe does animals. This looks incredible. I love the polar bear. It's one of those things where the Snake Eyes are always good for customs, so this is something you could buy 2 or 3 of if you wanted some polar bears for other displays, and then try the Snake Eyes into other things. So that was really cool. And then we got a sneak peek at a picture of a gray digital render of a vehicle. So a lot of people are thinking it's the Ostrike, the little Doom buggy Jeep that they have. I think that'd be really cool because I kind of want that, because we got the Vamp, and now if we got that, we kind of have what I liked as vehicle, like car vehicles from the Joe side. But just a lot of cool stuff to cover when it comes to G.I. Joe. They really brought their A game and brought a lot of stuff. They did say, unfortunately, that a lot of figures are getting pushed for 2025, so there will be some delays on stuff. And they had, of course, a Star Wars segment, and they went through quite a few things. I don't know a lot of the names of the characters yet, because there are some new figures with new characters that I haven't got used to the names yet. But first up, they showed us off most of the Skeleton Crew figures that have been bouncing around online due to leaks, unfortunately. They showed us all 4 of the kids. They showed us the Jude Law character, and then of course they showed us that cool like Wolfman pirate captain, which was really cool. Like I said, I don't know any of their names, so I'm just going to refer to them as that, but they look really awesome. And then they showed us, of course, what went up for pre-order in Walmart Con that they had as an offering was a Star Wars Revenge of the Sith packaged 6-inch Black Series Commander Cody, which looked incredible and cool. There was some, missing paint apps on the upper arms, but I'm not going to nitpick because the figure looks incredible. One other thing I did notice is he doesn't have a signature scar. They just used the basic clone head, but he did have a really cool Order 66 puck with Emperor Palpatine on it, which was an ultimate sell for me. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then when it came to vintage collection, they had quite a few things to show. They showed us the Skeleton Crew Jude Law vintage collection figure. They showed us a Ahsoka series Sabine Wren with the dog creature from the later part of the series, which was really cool. They had a New Hope, I forget his name, Dr. something from the Cantina, who gets taken out by Obi-Wan, and then a Empire Strikes Back Snowtrooper. So those were some of the things they showed us. They were really cool. I'm glad that Vintage Collection got a lot of reveals. I'm glad that Black Series got some cool reveals. A lot of people were talking about how they were excited to get smaller characters in the Black Series, like the kids' characters, because you can use them for customs. So just a lot of awesome stuff from the Star Wars team. And to round up things when it came to the Hasbro teams at New York Comic Con, we have the Marvel team, who only revealed one item, but it was an amazing item, and it makes sense why it was the only item revealed. And that is of the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Sentinel. And this, of course, as you can assume, is a larger scale figure, standing about 22 inches tall. It's only about 4 inches smaller than the HasLab one. And I'm sorry, it was really exciting to see this, because I didn't buy the Sentinel, because I think at the time the Sentinel was HasLab. There was another HasLab that was either just before or just after it that I wanted, so I had to skip it, because I didn't have, I think it was like $350 after shipping and tax or something around there. Well, it was kind of good that I waited, because this one is only going to cost you about $175, and it will be shipping out next year in October. And instead of like a HasLab where they take the money at the end of the campaign, they don't take the money till it ships. So you could pre-order this and then save up money and have a Sentinel funds in a jar and put some money in there. And then when October comes around of next year, October 2025, you can put that money in the bank and it will charge through and you won't have to worry about it. Whereas with the HasLab, they take the money at the end of the campaign and you don't get your product for a year. So this was a really cool offering that they did. It's nothing too crazy that would make the other one look bad. And honestly, if you have one, you could have it be your Master Mold and then have these ones be your Sentinels that fight for him. A lot of people are talking about like, how many are you going to get and stuff like that in like Reddit and forums and stuff. But it's definitely one of those things where it was exciting to see them give an offering like this and kind of show us that it is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I'll have the link in the description down below. But like the Dragon Man and now this, and how the Marvel team did say they were going to step back from doing as many HasLabs, if any at all, kind of shows us that they are willing to do these made to order pre-orders that are a year out, because Dragon Man was a year out. We pre-ordered him in September, he ended in October, I believe, and then he'll come out in September of next year. Same thing with the Sentinel. We ordered it in October, it will ship in October of next year. So it's a year out, but they don't take your money till then, and it's made to order. So if 3,000 people buy it, 3,000 are made. And it's kind of cool. It's a nice way to see this, where they're willing to do exclusive offers on their website that are like HasLabs, but you know, they don't take the money at the end, so you have time to kind of get, because at the same time as this happening, I'll talk about another thing later that's happening. So it's kind of like, if you're a fan of more than one Hasbro line, it's kind of hard to buy these HasLabs and some other HasLab from another brand. So I thought that was really cool. But altogether, really awesome offering. Really cool to see the Marvel team show it off. And on that note that we were talking about during Marvel, another Hasbro team who sometimes throws stuff out there very rarely, the Ghostbusters team revealed their HasLab at New York Comic Con, and that is of the the Plasma series Ectotron. So this is their 6-inch series of figures, and they're doing the Ghostbusters Ectotron, and it has the ability to be pretty much the Ectotron from, I think, the first Ghostbusters or the second Ghostbusters. But a lot of it is focusing around the second Ghostbusters, because there will be figures of the 4 characters in their dark outfits, and then there'll be a figure, if it backs within a week or so, of the, I forget his name, the nerdy character with the glasses in the second one. He got to become the 5th unofficial Ghostbuster. So he'll be a early bird item that, if it backs fast enough, everyone who backs it going forward will get him. And then there's, of course, the first ghost in the line, which, by the way, that was kind of weird. They said it was the first ghost in the line, the librarian, because we've got a ghost version of, I feel bad if this is a spoiler if you haven't seen the newer Ghostbusters movies, but we got a ghost version, I think, of, was it Spengler? The gentleman who wasn't in the newer movies because he already passed away. We got a ghost version, I think it was a Target exclusive 2-pack with his granddaughter from the movies. And then which, besides that little thing, we also got a Slimer. So you get 2 ghosts with it, Slimer and the librarian. And then we get all these different add-ons to the Ectotron and little accessories, including a little kind of gag for when they were trying to sell the Ghostbusters brand in the universe with a mug and a balloon. I believe those are the little accessories that come with it. But yeah, just a really cool campaign. It needs 12,000 to back. I don't know how many more it needs after that to stretch goals. I didn't really see any stretch goals when I was looking around for it. I feel bad I'm not as invested in this HasLab because I personally don't want it. But I do want to talk about it and promote it because it is still a really cool HasLab, and for Ghostbusters fans, it's awesome. I, for one, am really excited about that Ghostbusters 3-inch Ectotron and 3-inch O-ring figures I talked about a while back. If I was going to get Ghostbusters stuff, I'd probably get that because it's smaller, and I would have the space for it. But yeah, if you are a fan of Ghostbusters and you want the Ectotron and these figures in 6-inch scale to go on your shelf, or even if you just want the Ectotron to use in other stuff, maybe you want to take the car and, you know, do something else with it for your 6-inch figures. But yeah, really cool offering. 12,000 to fund. I think it's about, I want to say 300, 350. There's 2 different versions. There's a basic version and a deluxe version. So I think the deluxe version is 350, and then the basic version is 300 or 250. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll have the link down below for the product and you can go check it out. And over at Jetta Toys over the week, they showed us some stuff at the New York Comic Con, and the 2 things that stuck out to me that got me really excited is we knew about the Tony Tiger that was coming out from the serial characters, and we of course have the monsters from like Count Chocula and Boo Berry and Frankenberry. But now we have 2 new characters coming to the line of serial characters that I'm very excited about because they also double as just old Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters, and that is of the Flintstones, Fruity Pebbles, and Cocoa Pebbles, Barney and Fred Flintstone. And these are 2 really cool figures that are articulated. They have, of course, the Fruity Pebbles with Fred, and Barney has the Cocoa Pebbles. And if you're like me who grew up, you know, through the late 90s, the 2000s, you remember the commercials. I haven't seen the commercials in a long time, if at all, for Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles. But I remember the commercials all the time of Fred getting mad at Barney for, you know, eating the pebbles. and taking them from him, kind of like, you know, that trope with cereal, that someone was always trying to take the cereal from the cereal character, or the cereal character was trying to take the cereal, like Tricks. I really hope they do Tricks with the rabbit. I still want a Lucky for Lucky Charms, but this is cool to see that we're getting some other cereal characters that are also Hanna-Barbera characters, because on that same note, you know, we're getting the Scooby-Doo characters, and they showed off the same figures they showed at San Diego for the Scooby-Doo stuff, but it's just exciting to see more characters come into the cereal line that can kind of hint to what we might get with other stuff. So just really wanted to cover that because I thought that was cool. No pre-order dates yet, I don't think. They'll be probably $24.99 or $19.99 depending on where you buy them when they finally come out. And in S.H.Figuarts news, we have a look at an item that S.H.Figuarts revealed this week of a Dragon Ball S.H. figure that is an homage to the first manga cover of Kid Goku riding on the chibi-looking Shinron. And this will be a figure that will be going up next year around July, so my assumption is it will probably be one of the Comic-Con exclusives. And you get Shinron as a like non-posable figure base that Kid Goku can go on, and Kid Goku of course is one of their, you know, kid figures that can articulate. Looks really cool, so if you want to put this next to your first issue manga, you can. Like I said, it's going to come out in July. There's no price yet, but I'm assuming it'll probably be $50 plus, and it's most likely going to be early reveal at Comic-Con and up for sale there, or an exclusive there. So we don't know yet, but I'm very excited for it. He comes with a bunch of different hands, interchangeable faceplate, all kinds of different accessories. Just a really cool offering. And the articulation is really good on the figure too. It looks really clean. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to cover real fast. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, there's something cool to look forward to summer of next year. And in Mondo Toy News, we have a look at another Spider-Man the Animated Series character. And as we talked about the original, the first one, which was the Spider-Man, now we have the Spider-Man the Animated Series Venom. And of course, like the Spider-Man, it has two versions, the base version, then an exclusive deluxe version. The base version, I believe, is $220, and then the deluxe version is like $250. But I'll have the links down below for the prices and stuff like that. And this, of course, comes with the Venom, which looks incredible with its animated colors. And then it comes with the unmasked Eddie head. And then it comes with some, of course, web shooting effects and extra hands, and then some splat effects. And then if you buy the exclusive version, you get a Venom head with green slime coming out of his tongue. You've got the Venom effect, which has like Venom pieces splatting out of him. And then you have the holding webs to hold the Spider-Man for when he has the unmasking scene where he can take the mask off of Spider-Man, which is in the base figure. And this is just a really cool offering if you are excited for a 12-inch line of Spider-Man figures. Now you got Spider-Man, now you got Venom. They're trying to build out that whole animated series collection. So here's your chance to get a Venom too. That's really cool if you want it. I think it's a really cool figure. I myself am not a Mondo collector, but I do like to cover them here because they look awesome. And in Super 7 news, specifically the Reaction Transformers line, the newest wave of Transformers was revealed, and that is of 6 new figures. One is the Metallic Grimlock, which is similar to the one from Comic-Con, but in their normal packaging. You get a concept RC from the movie, so it's her orange and pink colors, and then you get a Black Optimus Prime in this kind of stealth paint scheme from a specific kind of episode or comic issue, which is really cool. And then you get a Ghost of Starscream, which is really cool, where it's got the shiny, glittery look. And then a Ultra Magnus, which is the White Optimus Prime, which is a nod to the old toy. And then finally, you get a Frenzy, or for some people, Rumble. These 6 figures, of course, are available at most e-tailers like Big Bad Toys, Entertainment Earth, and at Super 7. And they're really cool looking. I wanted to cover them real fast because I know that I've covered other Super 7 Reaction Transformers here. And also, if you missed out on that Metallic Grimlock, now you have a chance to get it here at mass retail if you don't mind the package change, which is really cool. And we are going to be talking about McFarlane Toys now. And this is a lot to cover, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything he showed this weekend at New York Comic Con, but I'm going to cover the things that I thought were the key things that poked out at me that I was like, oh, that's cool. So first up, we have a look at his new line of DC figures that he's calling Todd's Mods DC characters, and these are like really buff, ripped statue DC characters. So first up, we have a look at Batman and Bane and Man-Thing. I'm assuming we'll get more characters in the future and maybe other licenses like his Spawn character or Marvel characters like Hulk or Abomination, but these are very interesting line of figures he's doing now. Of course, I put the links up on Instagram, I believe yesterday, but I'll put the links down in the description down below if you want to pick these up yourself. Very interesting. Next up, we have a bunch of reveals, and I'm just going to run down the list. First up is the Batman and Robin movie, Batman with Batmobile, which is really cool. Now we've got this one, the Batman Forever one, and the Batman movie one, and then we've got the Tumbler. So we've got quite a few Batmobiles now coming out our way. Of course, also the original Batman series Batmobile too. So this is the Batman and Robin one. I believe it lights up red, which is really cool. And then next up, we have a 2-pack that I'm very excited about that comes with Reverse Flash costumes Zoom and Thomas Wayne as Batman from the Flashpoint, and he comes with his dual guns this time around. I'm assuming this will be a McFarlane store exclusive because it comes with guns, and it's a really cool 2-pack. I'm excited for it. I like the Flashpoint stuff. It's really cool. And then we have a look at a set of figures he showed off of Captain Cold in his more classic outfit, which I'm very excited for. I might pick that one up to go against my Flash. And then Power Girl and Green Lantern character. I'm pulling a blank on the top of my head, but he's the one with the orange bowl cut. But that character is also coming out. I don't know if they're all going to come out in a wave or if it was just revealed together, but those three are coming out. And then there is just quite a few other things. There's a new line of figure set coming out called Justice League versus, or DC versus the Godzilla versus King Kong universe. So you're going to get a King Kong with a Batman figure. King Kong, of course, will only be probably about, I think they said it was, I want to say like 12 inches or 15 inches or something. It's not too big, whereas the Batman figures is, usual 7-inch scale, I believe. But yeah, so this is going to be a going thing. So they showed us Kong and they showed us Batman. I'm curious if we're going to get a Godzilla and a Superman next, Mothra and a Wonder Woman. I don't know where it's going because I just saw the images when McFarlane was revealing them on his Instagram, and there was just, some small dialogue on the bottom, some small text that talked about it. But yeah, just a lot of McFarlane stuff was revealed at the New York Comic Con, and it was kind of overwhelming for a lot of people because, like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. Like, Comic Con was a lot too, but he's really trying to push out as much as possible. It's incredible what he's doing. Just really exciting to see how McFarlane is doing when it comes to these figures, and then how the series is progressing, how we're getting so many characters, and just really awesome stuff. And a little bit in movie news. We haven't covered anything in movie news in a while, but I am excited to talk about this one. It is that of the Karate Kid movie that is coming out next year, I believe is when it's supposed to come out, or 2026. And it was exciting because they talked about how they were looking for the next Karate Kid, that the movie would have Ralph Macchio in it and Jackie Chan in it, and a new kid star who would take over the Karate Kid title. And they finally revealed the poster and who it would be, and I'm very excited for this actor. It is that of Ben Wong. And if you are a fan of American Born Chinese, which was on Disney Plus, this is the lead character actor from that TV series, and the books were incredible too if you haven't read them. But I really like what this actor brings when it comes to acting as a teenager and stuff like that. And of course they are a teenager or a kid, but I'm very excited to see that they are going to be the next Karate Kid. I'm excited to see Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan in the Karate Kid series. I don't know too much about it yet. I don't know if they've told us a lot about it, if it takes place in the same kind of universe as the Karate Kids that then went into Cobra Kai, or if this is kind of like just pulling the characters, actors, and stuff like that from different versions of it, because I know we had a reboot series, and that's where Jackie Chan came in with Will Smith's kid, and they did their Karate Kid movies. I think there was one or two of them, I could be wrong. And then of course Ralph Macchio was the original Karate Kid. So we don't really know if this takes place in the Cobra Kai universe and the original Karate Kid universe, or if this takes place in just its own kind of, reset of the franchise or what. So I'm very excited to see this movie when it comes out. But I thought it was really cool and I wanted to cover it here, and I figured I haven't really talked a lot about movies recently, and I wanted to kind of talk about that because we do reviews on everything here whenever we can, whenever it kind of piques the interest that we think it might be fun to talk about. I myself would love to do a review of Transformers 1. I talked about it on my social media, but I didn't really do a full review, and now that it's coming out, it's going to be on digital soon, I'm going to probably do a review on it with spoilers. I'll make sure to put a thing beforehand, so hope to see a video of that sometime in October, maybe in early November, when I get the chance to sit down and kind of give my thoughts on it and what I thought about it and why I think it really deserves a sequel. And in our comic corner this week of comics we like to look at and talk about, we have a look at 3 comics this week we think look awesome. First up is the Void Rivals number 13, and the character Pythona, I think is how you say it, of the Cobra, the people that Cobra Commander came from. So some of the G.I. Joe universe characters are coming into the Void Rivals universe, which I believe we've had happen before, or maybe this is the first time, because I know Transformers and Void Rivals have been doing a lot. But this is of course from Skybound, and it is the character going into the Void Rivals world and causing some chaos and doom, which is really exciting. I'm excited to continue reading this comic series. And then next up, we have a look at Marvel Comics Werewolf by Night number 3, and this follows Werewolf by Night the wolf character, going to the Savage Lands, and for some reason, and of course Moon Knight is on the cover too. I don't know if he's in the comic with him, but I know both the characters have a connection, kind of like Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night, and Blade and all of them, because they're all part of like that dark Marvel Universe stuff. So this is a really cool looking comic. I'm excited for it. And then lastly, IDW Comics has a really cool comic here for Godzilla. It's called Godzilla Monster Piece Theater, and it takes Godzilla and puts him in the 1920s, and he fights the Great Gatsby. And he also has on the cover, it shows Sherlock Holmes, the Machinist, or the time traveler, and some other characters of the 1920s fighting Godzilla, and it just looks really cool. I'm actually most excited about this comic this week, and I think it's a really cool concept, having Godzilla's fought in tons of people, and now he's fought in DC, he's fought in Marvel, he's fought in the Power Rangers, the Turtles, I even think, so it's cool to see this kind of take on it. So these are the comics we think look cool this week. I think they're awesome. Like always, don't forget to stop at your local comic shop and pick up your saver. In today's Creative Corner, we have a look at a creator who does some really awesome artwork. It is that of mokoyo.robo on Instagram, and they have a really awesome amount of robot art. As you know, I'm a sucker for robot art. There's of course Transformers, you got this really cool RC piece, this really cool set of Dinobots, that's really awesome, but on the other side of things, like I said, I just like robots in general. He has some original robots he's made that I have imaged here. He has this really cool Star Wars Transformers collab of Boba Fett as Soundwave with cassettes and everything like that, which is really cool looking. You can read in their description that they're big into 80s, 90s, Star Wars, Transformers, sci-fi, anime, robot kind of stuff. So they're right up my alley when it comes to what I like. And if it's what you like, definitely give them a follow, give them the likes. Just kind of check out the stuff they have on their website. They do post other things besides their work, like, memorials for actors who passed away. I saw some of those. But there's definitely a lot of awesome original art and robots. There's this really cool Beetle picture, painting or sketch they did that I have imaged here. Just a lot of awesome stuff. Gives me that old, Japanese robot vibes, which is really cool. So definitely, if that's your kind of thing, give them the follows and the likes. It's totally worth it. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.